by remembering and paying tribute to the valiant sons and daughters of our soil, whose blood waters our land for freedom today. In this speech of today, I want every Biafra to take something back home. And the word I want you to take to your heart today is tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. Several decades ago, brave Biafrans made a choice to take a leap of faith and join the struggle for the liberation of our beloved nation, Biafra. These are men, heroes and heroines who prepared us for the courage and bravery we enjoy and we display today. The fight for Biafra liberation made us today to stand very tall against Islamic State and against the state-sponsored terrorists. There is no time in human suffering when one is forced to make a choice. A choice whether to submit or to fight, even if it means paying the ultimate price. And I want to tell you, Biafra, today is that time to make a choice. The choice is right before our very own eyes. A choice to submit to the Islamic State and seeing our women and children getting killed, chopping off their hands, their legs, and seeing our land being overrun by terrorists. Or a choice to fight and fight once and for all and put an end to the upsurge of terrorists that is migrating from Sahel region, Central African Republic, from Mauritania down to the Sahel region and then down to Nigeria, and in quest to conquer the entire southern Nigeria. Today, I believe that millions of Biafra has made a choice to fight. I am very proud of you who has made it very possible to see Nigeria state fail. I thank you all who participated in making sure that we have what we call the political upheaval, the highest one in the history of Nigeria today. It is the activities of the Biafra liberation. In 1967, when the International Court of Justice and other world powers failed to assist the cause of Biafra self-determination and freedom, in facial circumstances, the lackadaisical and nonchalant attitude of the world leaders collaborating with Nigeria led to the death of over 3 million children from Biafra land. This prompted one of our stewards and a hero in the name of Philip Effiong to surrender to Nigeria. In the course of surrendering to Nigeria, because of the children that were dying out of starvation, he cautioned Nigeria and said, if you don't treat these people good, their children are going to rise up and fight you again. My fellow Biafrans, I want to categorically say it today that the children Philip Effiong was talking about, Simon Ekpa is one of them. And you that have supported this cause, In the midst of all blackmail and propaganda, you are one of those children. I want to call on Biafrans to be ready. Just like every other nation that fought their way out of slavery. The swearing in of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shettima has confirmed that indeed you are already officially in Islamic State, which the Biafra people can never accept. No matter how you try to paint it, when in a supposed secular state, you have the president a Muslim, the vice president a Muslim, there is nothing else that you need to know other than you are under Islamic State. I want to inform Biafrans today that when we talk about Islamic State, we're not just talking about entire Islamic world. No. I want to draw a line for you to understand the type of Islamic State we are talking about. We are talking about Sunni Islam, who are the Taliban. We are not talking about the Shia Islam. The Shia Islam are those you see in Iran, while the Sunni are the Taliban in Afghanistan. And I want every one of you to understand that the fight to liberate Biafra is not just about political fight, it is also a religious fight and a fight for survival. Having said this, with the development in Nigeria today, I want to put entire Biafrans on notice that we will cross many rivers of blood before we can achieve our freedom. The just concluded general election has confirmed Islamization that our heroes and heroines fought against. In order to restore peace, which is the agenda of the Biafra people, again, we will cross many rivers of blood before we can achieve that. During the PDP primaries, before the general election, I can remember vividly the word of Anyim Pius Anyim, those political leaders that have given vote of no confidence on the 29th of May 2023. He said, I am shocked that consideration for voting the PDP presidential candidate was not based on the burning national issues and how to solve them, but still on the old primordial sentiment. It is time to embrace Biafra. I am telling him. And because of their nonchalant attitude, made the Nigeria state to take them for granted. I have watched former President Goodluck Jonathan lament about the new electoral law, even before the shenanigans you see today as a democratic process. He lamented, how can a candidate are elected, or how can candidates are elected, and he described that particular electoral law as a disaster. That electoral law is what finally brought in Islamic State in Nigeria today. And indeed, it became a disaster that President Goodluck Jonathan rightfully described it. Today, President Goodluck Jonathan is saying a different thing under Islamic State. Fellow Biafrans, the swearing in of Tinubu and Shettima has once again validated our fight to exit Nigeria. And I want to ask those who may have a divergent view today to tell me what makes us one Nigeria. The One Nigeria mantra has been the colonial interest, only for the colonial interest, that the slave masters of amalgamation amalgamated all the countries that invaded within Oduduwa Republic, Biafra Republic, and the Arewa Muslim nation, and called them Nigeria. This is a fact that cannot be disputed. Our culture are different. Our culture are irreconcilable. Our religions are different. Our mode of worship are poles apart. Our mentalities are so different, and even our languages are absolutely strange to each other. How do you make a country like that to work? It is serving interests of a particular group. May I remind Biafrans today that in 1947, those who are regarded as the founder of Nigeria or independence, Obafemi Awolowo said Nigeria is not a nation, that it is a mere geographical expression. Can you dispute this fact? There is no Nigeria today as the same as the English, Welsh, and French. The word Nigeria is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria and those who do not. I want to ask you people, or remind you, that till date, nobody has got, and nobody has the audacity, within the current setup of Nigeria, to say contrarily to this declaration of Obafemi Awolowo. May I also make reference to Malam Abubakar Tafawa Balewa of 1948. He said, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But Nigeria people themselves are historically different in their background, in their religious belief and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. I call on Biafrans today, if Nigeria continue to show the unwillingness to unite, which they can never unite, Biafra has to wake up to understand that unity will become our strength. The agitators, different groups of agitators, should understand that the time has come to put your differences apart and join the moving train. Nigeria unity is only a British intention for the country. The unity of Biafra agitators will be the interest of liberation. This testimony came from the Prime Minister, for the first Prime Minister of the mistake called Nigeria. One of the creators of this mistake called Nigeria, Sir Peter Smithers, who was cabinet minister during the colonial regime, admitted the wickedness of the British colonists when he said in 1998, the creation of Nigeria involved forcing several colonists, forcing several ethnic groups, cultural and religious groups into one political structure. Will you dispute this fact? The answer is no. In retrospect of over 100 years, it is clear that this was a grave mistake which has cost many lives and will probably continue to do so if Biafra did not rise up to do the needful through the Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Today, I want to inform Biafra people that on the 30th day of May 2023, the Biafra Liberation Army engaged the killers from the Nigerian terrorist government, and they prevented them from burning our villages and killing our women and children. Nigeria unity has cost more lives of the Igbo Biafra and their properties than any other nation in the evil entity called Nigeria. May I also remind you about the aftermath of the election, where Biafrans and their properties were rendered useless. We saw the burning of markets in Lagos. We saw the attack against Igbo-speaking part of Biafrans in Lagos. In every given uprising in Nigeria, the Igbo-speaking part of Biafra has always become the scapegoat. At any crisis, it is not that they are the one orchestrating this crisis. When there is crisis in the north, the Igbo people are being killed. And after, they call it political or religious crisis. The Igbo-speaking part of Biafra has always paid the price of one Nigeria at any given provocative or provocation. We have found ourselves at the center of massacre, and the Biafra people and their property are being destroyed, the life wasted, without anybody being held responsible. They also become political slaves, where they are humiliated at the presidential inaugural ceremony, like we see Soludo today being chased away from the VIP session of the inaugural at the Ego Square, Abuja. Soludo is the governor of Anambra State. When he came into the office, the first thing he did was to fight against the sit-at-home. He failed. He decided to take his war against our Eastern Security Network. He failed. We have not forgotten what led to the Nigeria-Biafra War and how Chief Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, our Ikemba of Nnewi, the Ezigbo Gburugburu, and the man who saw tomorrow, tried to save the future of what is happening today against Biafra people and against Ndigbo. The same people betrayed him. They betrayed him out of envy, ignorance, jealous, and greed. The same thing they have done to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It was the governors of the Southeast that gathered together to proscribe IPOB and tag them terrorists. While IPOB, in quest to get their freedom through peaceful means, did not commit any crime. Neither do they have arms, but they were tagged terrorists by the governors today, who parade themselves as the representative from the South, old Eastern region of Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cried out. The same vision of Chief Ikemba Nnewi to bring us to a promised land. Today, he was betrayed and he is being illegally detained in the DSS dungeon. I want Biafra's people to understand today that any day he give go ahead, we will bring him out the way he was taken away from us. We have equally not forgotten how the Igbo pregnant women cried and died in pains when their womb had been wickedly opened with cutlass and their children had been brought out cruelly during the Biafra-Nigeria genocidal war. It is equally painful to remember the death of our children as a result of malnutrition. We have not forgotten that the end of the Nigeria Civil War, it was declared no victor, no vanquish by the then head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, who today, at the swearing-in ceremony of Bola Tinubu, described the war as fracas, little fracas. We banned him from entering Biafra land, and he has gotten our message. He will never step his foot in Biafra land again. After 50 years of the war, we have defeated them from defeating Gowon. I want to inform Biafrans, what follows after the declaration was a systematic disenfranchisement of Ndigbo and other parts of Biafra. The first ceremonial president of Nigeria, Nnamdi Azikiwe, said in 1964, I have one advice to give to our politicians. If they have decided to destroy their national unity, then they should summon a roundtable conference to decide how their national assets should be divided before they seal their doom by satisfying their lust for office. Today, lust for office is not just for the Northerners, nor for the Yorubas, nor for the Caliphate. Rather, the lust for office has overwhelmed the Igbo-speaking part of Biafra, and they have become slaves. The lust for office is the reason Soludo entered as a governor of Anambra State, and his achievement was to fight the people of Anambra who was sitting at home. Instead of fighting to make Anambra a better place, he decided to fight the people who voted for him and decided to use civil disobedience to demand the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, he was disgraced at Abuja. And that particular scene where Soludo was being chased away from inaugural VIP area can never be wiped out of this history. I make this suggestion according to Zeke because it is better for us and many admirers abroad that we should disintegrate in peace and not in pieces. This was in 1964. Zeke Iwe, who was already the pioneer of One Nigeria, called for the disintegration of Nigeria in peace and not in pieces, before the Biafra war started. So he saw the war coming and he called for disintegration, but nobody listened. Should the politician fail to heed this warning, then I will venture the prediction that the experience of the Democratic Republic of Congo will be child play if ever it comes to our turn to play such tragic role. I want to inform Biafrans today that indeed they have pushed us to that role. Zeke was predicting today, not after 3 years of this prediction, the Biafra. No, the prediction is what is about to start. The Igbo-speaking states have the worst federal road network comparison to other geopolitical zones in Nigeria. And I want every Biafrans to take a look, and those who shout for One Nigeria to take a look and go to the northern part of Nigeria. They created more local government for themselves. They legalized them without anybody raising an eyebrow. They manipulated even the national census by counting cows, files and brothers and sisters from Niger Republic as Nigerians. During the election, we saw them from Niger Republic having voters card, when those who were born in Nigeria and they are Nigerians don't have voters card. People from Niger Republic have voters card. Just to maintain political suppression. And in all this, there are people who parade themselves within the Biafra territory as elected officials. I want to remind you today that the 12 states of the northern Nigeria, as at yesterday, are under Sharia law because the states are going to increase. But let me promise you one thing. You can never succeed in the old Eastern region. They are killing Christians in the north. They kill them for blasphemy. And everyone is scared to talk. As a result of the dishonesty from the census board, there are more in number in the National Assembly and the House of Representatives. Today, in 2023, they came to shamelessly deceive Nigerians that they want to start census. They know the implication, and they know that Biafra people are ready to go home and getting their census and get them counted in Biafra land. And they know the divided Nigeria, that Nigeria has divided like never before. They hide under the shadow of religions to cause us pains. And because they drive joy and our sorrow is giving them joy. That is why they always kill us at every little provocation. In this glaring, cruel injustice, this misguided chaos of what Nigeria cannot stand, I want Biafra people to look at all the political leaders from the old Eastern region today. They have all been humiliated by Fulanis. They are ashamed to align Biafrans. They are ashamed to accept that they have made a mistake. And inasmuch as they are ashamed, we still stretch our hand and wait for them to repent. Waiting does not mean that what we have activated yesterday is not going to go into full force. In fact, the liberation of Biafra have started in full force. And today, the Biafra Liberation Army has proven to them that we are ready to go. After having watched what Nigeria has done, disappearance of about 40,000 Biafra youth, over 50,000 Biafra youth killed, extrajudicially, almost 10,000 languishing in different dungeons in Nigeria today. Some articles estimated at almost 40,000 Biafra youth are languishing in dungeon, including our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I want to inform Biafrans that we have activated almost all the departments of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Haven't mentioned the ordeal of Biafra people and our readiness to exit Nigeria this year. I hereby activate the de facto government of Biafra in the homeland. To remember the fallen heroes of Biafra who, because of their activities and their bravery, gave us the courage to stand very tall against our enemies today. The de facto government is hereby activated. In the coming days, the inauguration will start state by state, and we will announce the cabinet. Just like we did in the Biafra Republic government in exile, today we have over 113 cabinet members and counting. Boko Haram are being recruited into Nigerian military, contradicting their treatment against IPOB, against myself, against other Biafra agitating group. In time to unite, that time is now. It is time to unite against the enemy of our freedom. Therefore, I call on all agitating groups to join hands together and let's defeat Islamic State in Nigeria and free ourselves from Islamic bondage. I call on all aggrieved parties to join the moving train of the Biafra Republic government in exile. Deep down inside you, you know we have done something you have never done before. We have made our achievement and still counting. We are breaking the jinx. It is time to put differences aside if you really believe that you are genuinely fighting for Biafra. Don't make Simon Ekpa the Biafra you are fighting. It is time you bring what you have on the table. And for those who will say over their dead body, will Biafra come through Simon Ekpa? Go and write your will. You call me agent of Nigeria. Today, I am not. Call me agent of Tinubu. Today, I am not. You call me Ohaneze Ndigbo agent. Today, I am not. You called me Sabo. Today, I am not. The day for the inauguration of the Biafra Republic government in exile will be announced very soon. The achievements so far are numerous. We have been recognized globally by the Universal Peace Federation. It is a step to the right direction, and a very strong message has been sent. The recognition of by the Universal Peace Federation is not just a global thing, it's universal. Universal Peace Ambassador. And like everybody knows, that is whom we are. We represent peace. But in quest to make this peace reality, we have prepared for war. Having activated the de facto government of Biafra in the homeland, I hereby approve the immediate issuance of Biafra National Identity Card globally, starting from today. For those who are yet to have liaison office, be patient. The liaison office will be announced in many countries and they are going to be activated as soon as possible. For those who have had the privilege to have liaison office in their country, you wait patiently for the biometric machine to be installed in your liaison office in order to serve you very well. In order to make sure that we follow the template for the liberation of Biafra, all the government official is hereby requested to start the process of having their official identification card starting from today. And we call on Biafran people to keep their fingers crossed. Now, it is not the time to make noise on social media. The call to unite the entire agitating group is genuine and coming from the heart of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. and myself. If you say that you are genuinely fighting for Biafra, it is time to keep your ego aside. You can never defeat me. It is time to keep your evil aside. You can't bring me down. Before joining the Biafra struggle, I was somewhere, and now I'm here. And I'm really prepared. If you know what is speaking inside me, you will go and cover yourself for even trying to fight me. Today, another grace has been given to you. My focus is to make sure that Biafra people are liberated and history is made. My focus is not to use my spiritual power and everything I have against individuals. I'm using it against Islamic State that enslaved Ndibo. Those of you who called me terrorist, those of you who wanted me killed, those of you who placed bounty on me, those of you who were happy claiming that they have arrested me in Finland, thinking that you have a hope in Nigeria. I am very, very sure that you have lost hope. I'm very, very sure that today you are disappointed. Well, let me tell you, the love I have for you has no limit. You have come to understand that I am not what you call me. You call me agent of Nigeria, and you know that I'm not. You call me that I'm working for Tinubu to destabilize the Southeast to favor his. You know that I'm not. Because today, I will become the worst enemy of Tinubu administration. I will make sure not just the worst enemy, but he will ever regret becoming the president of Nigeria in 2023. So, I am not his agent. And because every name you called me, they have turned out to be fake, my love knows no bound. And today, I am stretching the olive branch again to those who have called me names and castigated me in order to Biafra not to come. Your attack, your blackmail did not yield any fruit, and it will never yield any fruit. Not now that you have entered officially the Islamic State of Nigeria, that you are going to waste your time fighting Simon Ekpa. No. Let us join our resources together and tell Fulanese that we can make them very restless until the day we are going to exit Nigeria. And I am calling on those who think they have money in Biafra land and beyond, and you are a Biafran. Believe me, it is time you put your ego aside and financially support the liberation of Biafra. When you are waiting for Simon Ekpa to fail, actually, I have succeeded in making sure that every mechanism needed to get Biafra is being put in place. So if Biafra did not come today, it is because of you. Because every mechanism to get Biafra is being put in place. We have activated the Biafra Republic government in exile. It is functional. We are making waves globally. Now today, we have activated the de facto government in the homeland. And our agenda is to take power from every political leaders in Biafra land, from local government chairman to up to the governor and up to the senators and the House of Representative members, all of them by force. Chase them out of Biafra land. They will never step their foot in a given point. And it's going to start very soon. Because it is a self-defense. These are the people who bring repentant Boko Haram to kill our people. So we have to fight them from the source. At the same time, our mind, our hearts are open to show love to them. For those who are ready to repent, to come back home and know that the Nigeria of today is now beyond your expectation. You weren't expecting what is happening today to happen. And if you think it is going to get better, you are living in full paradise. So I call on you today to put your ego aside. Those who think that they are going to be exposed to the enemy if they come to support Biafra, come out. We are going to sign memorandum of understanding. Bring your money, bring your resources, and let us fight this thing once and for all. The structures are there. Everything that you need to get Biafra is there. We have activated them. And so don't come tomorrow to ask me, where is the Biafra? When you have nothing to do, when you have contributed nothing. You think Biafra is going to come by Simon Ekpa cutting his hand? The answer is no. Simon Ekpa have done his part in the struggle for Biafra. And I will continue to do my part, which is laying the foundation to liberate Biafra people. And the foundation we are laying today is solid. Foundation that is very, very solid. Foundation to convince the world that Biafra people are together and they are ready to do anything to leave Nigeria. The foundation that it is no longer in the hands of group. Foundation that the agitation for Biafra or the liberation of Biafra is no longer controlled by miscreants. It is now controlled by professionals. It is now being propelled by government. The foundation is strong. Now we are going to the homeland to demonstrate that we are not just strong in diaspora or in exile, that we also are very formidable in the homeland. And that is what the de facto government of Biafra is in homeland is going to prove to the world. The discussion of Biafra is going on in the global stage. And I want every Biafrans to pay attention to what we are going to do, especially when we have made public the liaison offices that has the biometric machine starting from next month. May God bless you. May God bless Biafra. May God bless Mazina. For those who have had the privilege to have liaison office in their country, you wait patiently for the biometric machine to be installed in your liaison office in order to serve you very well. In order to make sure that we follow the template for the liberation of Biafra, all the government official is hereby requested to start the process of having their official identification card starting from today. And we call on Biafran people to keep their fingers crossed. Now, it is not the time to make noise on social media. The call to unite the entire agitating group is genuine and coming from the heart of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and myself. If you say that you are genuinely fighting for Biafra, it is time to keep your ego aside. You can never defeat me. It is time to keep your evil aside. You can't bring me down. Before joining the Biafra struggle, I was somewhere, and now I'm here. And I'm really prepared. if you know what is speaking inside me, you will go and cover yourself for even trying to fight me. Today, another grace has been given to you. My focus is to make sure that Biafra people are liberated and history is made. My focus is not to use my spiritual power and everything I have against individuals. I'm using it against Islamic State that enslaved Ndibo. Those of you who called me terrorist, those of you who wanted me killed, those of you who placed bounty on me, those of you who were happy claiming that they have arrested me in Finland, thinking that you have a hope in Nigeria. I am very, very sure that you have lost hope. I'm very, very sure that today you are disappointed. Well, let me tell you, the love I have for you has no limit. And to also put to the world a notice that Biafra people are ready to take their own future and their freedom into their own hand, and then also to make sure that we invalidate the legitimacy of those who parade themselves as the elected officials within the Biafra territory. I thank you all this evening. When you see me dressing this way or looking this way, it means that the Biafra Liberation Army activities has been activated to the full scale of the defense of Biafra. And in the past days, the Biafra Liberation Army has engaged the Nigeria Islamic Terrorist Army, police, and some of them who always derive joy in killing Biafrans at will. Today, I can assure you that it is no longer business as usual. The self-defense of Biafra has been activated and will continue to neutralize them. Yesterday, the Biafra Liberation Army neutralized 3 armored tanks of the Nigeria Terrorist Army in Biafra land. Many of them were neutralized, and they know that it is no longer business as usual. We will continue to fight to defend our land until the last day that Biafra will remain or stay in Nigeria. This particular broadcast this evening has become imperative to address many issues that are being paraded and shared on social media, especially on the issue of the 2 weeks sit at home. I want to inform Biafrans that those who do not understand what is going on, Biafra Republic government in exile and the de facto government in the homeland has come to stay. It is the last phase to freedom. And today, I can proudly tell Biafrans that a lot of success has been recorded from the Biafra Republic government in exile and the de facto government in the homeland. We have read all manner of propagandas coming from the Nigeria, sponsored by the Nigeria state, especially coming from those expelled criminals who have spent over 13 years deceiving Biafrans in the name of fighting for freedom. At the end of the day, they sold our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the terrorist state. And they tried everything possible to kill the struggle, but here we are today, giving them back to back. So Biafran people, I want you to understand that today we have activated the Convention of Montevideo, which Nigeria or even Africa is not signatory to, but it is part of the prerequisite requirement to validate a government. Today, we have fulfilled many requirements to be recognized as a government. And that's where we're going. In October 2023, we are having the first ever Biafra self-referendum convention. It is a convention that we are going to discuss and lecture Biafrans on what to expect during the self-referendum and how the self-referendum will be conducted in line with international laws, in line with international treaties, in line with the most accepted democratic process, giving the people the right to decide their future. And on that note, I want to inform Biafra people today that the Article 1 of that convention has been activated with full force. And at the same time, the Article 20 of the African Charter on Human Rights and People Rights has also been activated, and Biafra people are exercising that right, and we are going to exercise it very soon during the self-referendum of the Biafra people. I also want you to understand that in the coming days, you are going to be faced with a lot of propaganda sponsored by the Nigerian state. You can see that during the sit-at-home, a lot of lies were told, and they will continue to tell those lies. Just make sure you stand very resolute, stand very strong. We are winning and we continue to win until the day we are going to redeclare Biafra. I want you all to understand that the Biafra Republic government in exile inauguration will happen in September. After that, we will activate in full force the de facto government in the homeland. But first of all, I want you all to understand that the Montevideo Convention of 1933 by the South American state, the Article 1 made it very, very clear how the international law should possess the qualification to define what a state is all about. How will you be recognized as a state? There are qualifications that the international community must recognize before you can be called a state. And I want to inform Biafra people that we have gone through this process. Today, many people do not understand that freedom fighting in the 21st century is something you do with brain, it's something you do with wisdom, it's something you do with knowledge, it's something you do also with experience. Many experience you have to also make sure that you utilize them while fighting for the freedom of your people. And on this note, the state, the Article 1 of this convention, demonstrates how you can qualify to be called a state, or how you can be qualified to be called a country, or what should qualify you to be recognized by international community, even when some people may not recognize you, or some organization may not recognize you. But the qualification to be recognized as a state is one. You must have a permanent population. Biafra has demonstrated that we have a permanent population. In addition to this, the Biafra Republic government in exile in the coming weeks will unveil the Biafra registration and the National Identity Registration of Biafra Republic, which is going to be completely online. That is going to help the Biafra people to lay the database of the Biafra Republic. Number two, for you to have the qualification to be recognized as a nation, you must define your territory. I want to inform Biafra people today that the Biafra Republic Government has defined the Biafra territory with a new edited map. Number four, the government. For you to be recognized internationally, you must form a government. And I want to inform Biafra people today that we have formed a government. We did not just form a government, we have formed the Biafra Republic Government in Exile government, and we have also formed the de facto government in the homeland. Number four, before you can be recognized as a nation, especially when you are fighting to liberate your people like the Biafra people are fighting today, you must have the capacity to enter into relation with other states. Today, we have demonstrated that we have the capacity to enter into relation, enter treaties, and sign alliances with different states. And we continue to maintain alliances with Ambazonia. We will continue to maintain alliances with others who are secretly supporting the Biafra liberation movement. And in the coming months, as the case may be, there will be coming openly to make statements based on what Biafra will be doing. I want Biafra people to understand as well that this is not just about the military aspect of it, it is also a democratic aspect of this Biafra liberation. And for that reason, we have activated the Article 20 of the African Charter of People and Human Rights. The African Charter of People something is happening and something is going to happen to Nigeria very soon. And Nigeria will never survive the wave that is coming from this week, starting from this week. So, Biafra people, no matter the propaganda that the enemy brought to you or the enemy are going to bring forward from tomorrow, remember, you can never take order from anybody coming from the Nigeria state. Most of the lawyers have sold out. Most of the lawyers are there for business. Most of the lawyers are just there for their profession. And some of them, Nigeria is a very corrupt country. Some of them being threatened. Some of them doing it for business. But one thing is very, very certain. We are fighting for Biafra freedom. We are fighting to save the people of Biafra. Remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not the only person in DSS dungeon. There are many, many people in DSS dungeon, Biafra people. So as we are demanding for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we are also demanding for the release of all the Biafra agitators and fighters that are illegally being detained in the Nigeria terrorist state. Our demand, therefore, is to release every detained Biafra from Nigeria. The civil disobedience that Biafra people are backing on now is not only for the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu alone, but it is also to demand every person being detained in Nigeria as a Biafra activist to be released. That particular statement is coming officially this evening. I want to tell Biafran's people not fall into this trap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say this, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never said anything. What they are trying to do is to create enmity and to create confusion and disagreement and misunderstanding between us and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who will never see, who will not know what is happening with him. And so what they are trying to do is to use the Nigerian media to create this particular enmity where there is no enmity. They will tell you Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said this, and then you think he actually said it. They will tell you Simon Ekpa said it, and then you think he actually said it. They will tell you Simon Ekpa is being sponsored and backroad. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said Simon Ekpa is being backroad by Nigeria government. Do you think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can actually say such thing? The answer is no. So what they are trying to do is to make Simon Ekpa to provoke and say, okay, I will not fight for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu again, and then we allow him to die in the DSS dungeon. That is exactly what they are looking for. Because if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out, he is going to expose those who were responsible in his kidnapping and the extraordinary rendition. And some of them are the one who claim to be fighting for him, including in his own family. So when you see them doing all these things, they are looking for a way to provoke Simon Ekpa, and we have refused to be provoked. I will not listen to anything until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say it as a free man. Then I will know he said it. So I want to encourage Biafra people to disregard everything. Do not go and start engaging all those people. They are only distracting us. Let us focus on what is going to be happening from tomorrow. Going forward, the liberation of Biafra has entered a new level. And we are going to benefit from all this chaotic situation that they are coming from the neighboring countries and all that. It is preparing ground for the Nigeria breakup. And it is preparing ground for Biafra to emerge as a nation. I want you to understand that in the coming days, a lot of things will happen. When they are happening, stay safe. When you see those terrorists coming to our land to kill, take a cover. Be very security conscious. If you are not trained to engage them, do not engage them. All you need is to pass the information to the media, and we know how to get and take care of them. It is now eye for an eye, and we are not going to back down. I want to also inform you that those people who parade themselves of Ohaneze is hereby banned in Biafra territory. We don't want to see them holding meeting anywhere in the name of Ohaneze. Ohaneze does not represent Ndigo. Ohaneze does not represent anybody. So, as far as this particular liberation of Biafra is ongoing, Ohaneze is completely banned in Biafra territory. And I challenge them to hold meeting anywhere in Biafra land. They can never ever be allowed to hold meeting in Biafra land. We are aware that on the 24th of this month, or so thereabout, some people are planning to gather somewhere. Biafrans will engage them. You can never gather in Biafra land again until we see a change in them. I want everybody to understand that what is happening is also a revolution. We are revolting against the criminals, against the corrupt leaders, against the evil government, against the Islamic State, against every oppressor in our land, who all they do is to sponsor killings, maiming, and annihilation of our people. And Ohaneze is part of them. So they are not welcome anywhere in Biafra territory. If they think that I'm lying, they should come to Biafra and see. From here, from me, is good evening. I want to